A warrant is a piece of paper issued by a government agency or by a judge that directs a specific action. With a judicial warrant, a prosecutor has to go to the court and say, we have probable cause that this person committed a crime. This is the crime we believe they've committed, and this is where we believe the evidence is. A judge hears all of that and then gives them permission to go and either arrest that person or to go to their home or their business or whatever and collect the evidence that they believe is there. The evidence is usually outlined as to what they're allowed to take, computers or specific things that have to do with whatever crime. They can't just go and knock on somebody's door and say, I'm here with a warrant, I'm going to search your house for whatever the hell I feel like looking for. Right? That is meant to protect us and our rights. So probable cause, a judge says, yes, you have permission, and then the warrant clearly outlines all the things that they're looking for, the people they're looking for, that they have permission to either arrest or seize. Now, an administrative warrant is given by a government agency. It has never been before a judge, and typically it's directing an employee to go do a thing. Right? So, for example, with ICE or Border Patrol, when they get an administrative warrant, it is John Doe, we believe, is in this country without documentation. I'm sending you out to get this person. They don't have the right to go to private residences or to workplaces with those warrants. They essentially have to be looking for that person when they're out in public. And they're supposed to approach them, identify themselves, show the warrant, and say, we believe you're in this country without documentation, and we want to take you before administrators within our agency. And so they then take that person and they go before that agency. If it looks like that person might be deported, or maybe that there's a reason to believe once they get there that they're here without documentation and they can't stay, they then have the right to appeal that warrant and that arrest and go to court, where a judge will oversee all of this and decide whether or not that person has legal reason to stay in this country or whether they should be deported. Many people never hire the lawyer to go to that extra step, right? Once they get before the immigrations and custom enforcement people or the Border Patrol people, they typically end up just getting deported back to their country. And that's been the way it's been for decades, right? This is not new. But they've always had the right to hire an attorney and move it into the court system. So what is legally binding is not that administrative warrant. That administrative warrant is directing the employee of the agency to go do something. A judicial warrant is not only directing the police and the court system, but also says to that person, you don't have a choice when we come to your house. You have to let us in. You have to provide this stuff to us. So it basically takes away that person's right to hide evidence or to flee from the police or to avoid the warrant. But an administrative warrant, if somebody goes and seeks sanctuary somewhere and you won't let the ICE agents or the Border Patrol agents in, there's really nothing that those administrative warrants give them the power to do.